Nicholson.
Okay,
But you have-
then you got individuals.
They're individuals,
Okay,
yes.
that's great, because I don't have that.
And you gotta read it out loud.
Everybody, please leave your hats. Do the pledge first. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And to the republic which is stands
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Maybe you should have typed it out.
Okay. Sorry, I'm glad you have all that, but I've been trying to get forms and I can't get them.
I know how.
That's great. I've been making rain for you, Paul, and getting nowhere. Every city does things different.
Well,
Okay.
this is a state form.
We got Billy J.
Burhager.
Burhager.
The one G silent.
Dorothy Kuzman.
Cussman.
Sorry, I always pronounce her name wrong. Francis Nicholson. Donnie Plum. Anybody's here? Anybody here? The election's here, so. Dorothy, Bill,
It's for our minutes, so we don't
Donnie,
need all
and
here.
myself are duly elected. And, Dorothy, you said you had all the forms,
Uh-huh.
so I guess we can all take the oath.
Well, one at a time.
Okay. I, Frank Nicholson, do solemnly swear
Did you
And I
call the
will
meeting to
support-
order?
Huh?
You must call the meeting to order first.
Are you forgetting, Frank?
I don't have the cheat book.
You don't need a cheat book.
Alright, I don't have any minutes, I don't have any of that.
Now that you have to call the meeting to order.
Alright, let's call this meeting order. Everybody in agreement? Yay? Okay. We did the pledge. Can do approval of the agenda, well, yes, I can. The agenda for tonight. Thanks. I got it right here. That's what your mom did. Grandma did it in my copy.
No.
The approval of the agenda for tonight, the agenda for tonight is to get everybody sworn in. And, I'm gonna say what I expect. Because the last mayor, I'm not gonna say anything negative, I'm gonna try not to at least.
You need to.
But
Well, now's the time and place to be putting everybody's thoughts out there.
like I told everybody prior to the elections, that I was gonna do the best I can. Alright, and I have an agenda for tonight, and that's to get everybody sworn in. And, discuss future plans for this city, because this city's in dire need of a lot of things. So, with that said, we're gonna go ahead and start swearing everybody in.
You gotta put your name on the top line.
I don't have a pen. What goes over this part here? Duty of mayor.
Nothing, just it was a line and
Okay.
the mayor didn't fill it all out. Give this to Becky, cause we're gonna appoint her to give it
I need my glasses, so I
Give it
can't
to-
see it good yet. If anybody's wondering why I got this band on my arm, I had surgery back in January. So it's kind of sort of-
So I'll give you one. Everybody's expected to come forward. This
8/17.
4/7.
4/17, 54, and we're in April. Yeah.
Oh, come on, Frank.
Second in here too, then.
Take that.
Sign it.
It's like swimming back in the military.
We're not going back in the
Right.
military.
Why not, Lisa?
You honor our veterans, if you have a picture, we can put it on the wall.
I'm not a veteran. Not in the military anyway.
Okay, I'll swear myself in first as the mayor here. I, Frank Nicholson, do solemnly swear that I will support and, well, it's supposed to be defend the Constitution of the United States.
No, it's support.
The laws of the state of Missouri and Gorin County and the city of South Gorin. And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of mayor to the best of my judgment and abilities. You still have the notary seal?
You have.
Should we be filling out two of these, one for the office and one for the county?
No. Actually, I'm photographing them, I'll make copies.
I know I have the city seal, do we want that on there?
You can put it on if you want to, but you don't need it.
Okay. Anybody got theirs finished ready?
I, Donald Plum, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the laws of the state of Missouri, of Scotland County, and the city of South Gorin, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of East Alderman to the best of my judgment and ability.
Oh, okay. Did you get everybody's name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. You're ahead of me.
Let me see yours short-handed, Dorothy.
Who's next?
I, Billy Bragg, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the laws of the state of Missouri, of Scotland County, and the city of South Gorin, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of West Side Alderman to the best of my abilities, or judgment and abilities.
Thank you. Dorothy, that leaves you.
And, I'm photographing these one at a time too,
Oh, okay, great.
because I will make copies.
Here's,
Because at some point they need to go in with the minutes.
that's Billy. Did I get to call Billy or Bill?
Bill.
Okay. I apologize for the past mayor. I have no control over what other people do.
Oh, and don't let her control you either.
Well, I've been conversing with her for the last 3 days trying to get this stuff taken care of. And seems like she's conveniently sick or not available. And it's pissing me off.
She'll have to throw on the shelf now, so.
Convenient having your own notary on hand, huh?
So much stuff, I need to be a notary. That's mine.
No, I mean, see that you form sheet.
No, this is all we really need all I need to put this where you am.
Okay.
I better read mine. I, Dorothy Cuthbert, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the laws of the state of Missouri, of Scotland County, and the city of South Gorin, and I will definitely discharge the duties of West Side Alderman to the best of my judgment and ability. and I signed it, and I need 2 witnesses to sign this,
Okay, I'll be one of them.
because I don't notarize my own signature.
So,
And the bill.
You're East Alderman, aren't you?
what are you trying to figure out, Katie?
Let me go to that one now.
And you're East too, aren't you?
West.
West?
Be west.
I'm west.
2 west, so we got 1 east. We need 1 more east.
We got
Now-
one.
Yeah, I make the motion that we
Are you on the east side?
appoint,
Well, she's right on the
What
line,
Becky
so she
Bass.
can be either way. The highway's the line.
Oh, that makes it convenient. Do you have a form to fill out too?
I, Rebecca Bass, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, laws of the state of Missouri, of Scotland County, and the city of South Gorin, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of East Side Alderman to the best of my judgment and ability.
Yeah, she's right. The highway's the divider.
photo yours.
Y'all might wanna
Stamp
continue
it.
that vote and actually vote her in.
Yeah.
Vote and second it.
Let her get
Who's,
it
who's
notarized.
seconding
And you're
that?
I'll second that vote.
So what would she be?
East
East side.
East.
Yeah, and it's, and some of, one's a 1 year and one's a 2 year. I know I'm the 1 year and Bill's the 2 year.
Oh, can we write that
You
on?
got
each
one, once
one?
you be
Sign
the
that
2,
up.
and she'd be the 1.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are you the 1 year or the 2 year?
I'm the
she'd
1
be
year.
1 year.
Okay.
And Dorothy is the 1 year.
That would help me when it comes time to have them renewed. 'Cause it was
Well-
I was the only one in the last 13
Because
years
that all
that
needs
was
to
the
go on
only
the
one
ballot.
being renewed.
So Dorothy's a year.
I don't know why.
And
but
Becky's
it-
a
And Becky is
Yeah,
a
and
year.
we have
And
to
you
file
for what?
for
2
an
years.
election before the election time. Bill's
Welcome
2
to the
years.
city board.
All right.
You swore in, do y'all vote yay or nay?
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. You didn't expect that, did you?
Nope.
Well,
Good thing I showed up.
what's your name?
What?
Rebecca Bass.
Rebecca Bass.
Oh, you were the one that suggested for me to run or
Are you
something.
2 years?
Mayor, I'm not sure what it is. Is it
Yes.
5 or 2?
No, it's 2.
It's 2
Nothing's
years.
more than
Good.
2.
Mayor,
2
2
years
years.
sounds fine. I think this is gonna be my last term running. I've been on this for too long. I'll retire at 16.
You don't even wanna know how old I am, Brian.
No, I mean, I'll retire at 16 years in office. Diane Tag gave me $20. I gotta make a deposit in the bank tomorrow or Monday. I think the bank's closed tomorrow.
Yes, because tomorrow's Good Friday, so.
I don't know if it's
Wait,
closed,
no.
I don't know, it's not a legal holiday.
It's not a federal holiday, so banks are not closed.
When you guys
Yeah.
go, hold on, let me remember what I was gonna say. It had something to do with this.
What?
I don't know, I lost it, I had something,
You
and it's
lost
something
it-
good
You lost
too,
the train of thought?
yes.
Okay. As your mayor, each ward is gonna be responsible to take the complaints in their ward.
Well, and
If
that's
anybody has, something they wanna discuss, it's to be brought to the alderman. And the alderman will bring it to the board meeting, and the board will vote on that, whatever is discussed about. Cause the way it's been going is everybody's been just yelling at the mayor. And the mayor is the
It's been
chief
doing nothing.
executive of the city.
well, and
My job as the mayor is to make sure that everything is provided to you in the way it's supposed to be. And, not take the brunt of the fires.
well, the mayor's just,
So if everybody on their ward is taking care of the people that they have in their ward, they bring the solution to the city, we vote on what they want to do. And that's like the way it's supposed to be.
well, the mayor's supposed to be there just for a tie-breaking vote.
Right, I'm just a tiebreaker.
Like, for example,
I don't have,
Has been
I
down
turned the meeting over to you guys,
And that's
discuss what you
ridiculous.
wanna
No,
discuss.
it's actually sign down on your road. Sign down. It's actually ridiculous.
That's the bad thing about the window. So, I know you guys have your own little meeting, things like that are to be discussed, bring it to the board. I'm not a dictator, and I don't wanna be a dictator. And I don't wanna be arguing with everybody like the past previous mayor.
Do we have anybody that knows or anything? or like-
Yes, Rick Walker was doing the park.
But that's not the way it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be.
Everybody's
bid on.
supposed to be
Everything that goes through the city has to be bid
bid
on.
on.
And it's
Everything
supposed to
has to be
approved
bid
by
on.
the board, there's
Yep.
not a nickel
But
for
I'm-
these spent, if the board not approved.
That's right.
Well, I
Mayor
was
does
thinking,
not have to
can't
hold
we
a checkbook.
actually have a meeting and find somebody? Does this tractor actually work?
And they go to jail.
Actually, I'm not sure.
I'm just saying the president, I don't work. So until we get something, if that tractor mows and works, I can mow around here in the park.
Yes,
Got a
yes.
tractor on it.
I don't know, she never did it, she always had Brett do it.
No.
That tractor was
She
bought
used-
strictly,
She used Chris to do the park and back here.
Well, that post on my ditch
I know, it's
can
been
be,
down for a year.
it can be removed, it could have been removed a long time ago, because it was put there because of a Mennonite that lived down the street that kept driving up through the lot.
Oh, I thought it was a semi.
No.
No,
no,
And then I think there's a sign across the road on this side of town that's down too.
well, this was just, you're talking about the
No,
Street
she's
sign.
talking about the
No,
street
the
sign.
street signs.
Are you
Oh,
ready?
the street sign?
Yeah, the
Mhm.
street sign's
What
laying
street
down.
sign?
The one at
Oh, okay, that's not what I was talking about.
the
I
end
was
of
talking
Santa
about
Fe.
that telephone pole that actually is on my property, because he kept driving through the yard, and I just kind of put up a roadblock for him. No. Which I should be able to
that's
do,
the Mennonite that kept going around the speed bump that we had put
Right.
in there.
and,
And he kept driving through the ditch and digging ruts in your
right,
yard, so
and
we,
then he was driving through the yard, and about took out the fence a time or two. He probably didn't wanna chase goats. Or horses.
Katie, volunteered to be my clerk temporarily until we get situated.
I have a notion to have Delaney be our clerk and do our paperwork for us.
There's a lot of forms and
Yeah,
mothers.
She
set up
understands that.
All this.
As long as she knows what she's doing, she can go for it.
She,
I have
she's
no-
the one that printed all this
I
off
have no
for
quarrels
us.
with it. If you're willing to do it, I mean, it's
See,
a,
I-
it's
You
a
can
pain
have
in the ass
these, I
job.
will print off my phone,
Because talking to these people has
if you,
been a real
if
pain
you
in
got a
the butt.
file, you'll keep them
I've-
in and not burn them, Frank.
No, I have a file right here. I have my own stuff here. I don't know where this came from.
Who do we take
That's
all the
sealed.
complaints
Oh.
to now?
It says mayor on it.
It's for you, Delaney
Who do we
printed it.
take all-
Oh, thank you, Delaney.
You're
Us.
welcome.
They complained to us. and they
Donnie
told
asked
us
me to
somebody
print some
else.
stuff while he was on the road,
Well, I
so.
appreciate all
I've
the
had a
help.
rough week.
You know what, I
so-
appreciate all the help. I'm gonna try to be the best mayor I can be for you guys.
It's
and,
got a complete rules and regulations for the city. Donnie had her print out a mock agenda, just kinda,
I would have been doing it, but I've
That works
been
for
dealing
me,
with truck
guys.
issues all week, so.
I've been trying to find out, I've had, in order to go to the mayor courses, you gotta go to Jefferson City, and that's a long drive.
it is the long drive.
It's a 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
Well, to start with, the meetings need to be posted several days in advance. I always posted them 10
I
days
posted
before.
them 3 days ago,
I was gonna
But
bring up
10
a
days is
deal,
better, and then it needs to have an agenda on it.
cause
Is there
I was
any way
still
we-
trying to get the books, and,
Yeah,
and she'll text me and said when we gonna have a meeting.
right, well, this
Cause
time,
we had all plans of having a meeting on the 17th.
Is there,
is there any way we could set it up to where
I wanna
it's like
do
the
our meeting.
second Tuesday of every
I
month or
was-
something
That's
like
what
that?
it's
today I
supposed
was
to
gonna
be.
suggest
that's how it's
that.
supposed to be.
okay, can we,
Because I was gonna suggest that we do it the second
But it
Tuesday,
had to be
'cause
like,
the
for
fire
him,
department does theirs.
be like a Friday or
the
something,
second
wouldn't it?
Monday.
Yeah.
can we change it to where it's on like a Friday evening, that way I can still do my job and make the meetings?
What is the best day for everybody then?
Mine's on a Friday evening. It don't
I'm
matter
okay
what,
with
The only
any.
time I can't would be the third Tuesday of every month, because that's
Well,
when I
what
go to
about
the American
Saturday?
Legion and the Writers.
What about
Club.
a
It
weekend?
has to be on a weekday.
I
by
have to be on
state
a
law.
weekday?
On state law, yeah.
Okay, well, I like Tuesday better than I do Friday.
But he's not
He
here
won't
yeah,
be.
I
Saturday to
can't,
Thursday. Today was a quirk that he's even home.
yeah,
Well, Tuesday won't work?
no.
That's the beginning of the week, right?
That's why I asked if it
No, but he
could,
can zoom in and be perfectly legal.
What?
He can zoom in and be perfectly legal,
Well,
telephone.
in the past, we did a phone conference. Well, we
Yeah,
And
had-
that
well,
works.
that's the same thing.
I mean, that didn't seem to be a problem.
I can do it over the phone, that's not an issue.
I mean, as long as everybody comes, that's all I ask.
You only want to
If you're
see
sick,
that,
that's a
but-
different story. I don't want you to come if you're
He's
sick.
present if he's connected.
Because I don't wanna get sick. I got a very weak immune system.
So what day do we wanna do it then?
I'd like to do it on a Friday.
Alright,
Bill, are you able to do it on Friday?
I can do it any day except for the third Tuesday of every month.
Me,
Okay.
me too, I can do it any
I
day.
can do it any day too.
I'm any day, as long as I have a babysitter.
Well, Gil's got girls.
Fridays
Yeah.
are hit and miss with me, but as long as I could be here by phone,
Don't you
that would
usually
work.
have your Friday night dinner, with Keith?
No.
Gil's
No.
got sitters, and you could just bring them with you too, that's happened before.
I've seen her at Keith's multiple times.
Yeah. Well, isn't my child at your house right now?
Yeah.
I've seen her family. She's got a big family.
She took her poisons.
Alright, so, we got, Rebecca wants to do the clerk, no,
No,
Delaney
Delaney.
wants to do
Delaney.
the clerk, Rebecca wants to do the East Ward.
I already have her down, but I don't have her.
Okay, so if you're gonna be the clerk, you wanna come and take all the minutes and all that good stuff?
I don't even
You
want
can
to
start
do.
right away.
Hold on, let me finish this sentence. So when do you want the meeting?
That's what we had really discussed. Wanna make sure everybody's on board with the right date. I wanted it to be the second week of the
You
month,
mind taking
so
your paperwork?
if it's a Tuesday or a Friday, that's up to you
I
guys.
would like for it to be a Friday, so I can
Let's
actually
do
be
Friday,
here.
the first Tuesday, or second Friday of the month.
Yeah, that would be,
We'll
would be
put,
good.
we'll put, both up and you can say, get it in hand, right, whatever. Do it right.
So,
Oh,
All
you
in
can.
favor for
Oh, you
doing
have one.
Friday, please raise your hand. All in favor for doing Tuesday? Okay, Friday it is.
Here you go.
I'm easy to get along, believe me. I'm not like the other one.
What Friday of the month are you doing?
Second Friday of each
Second
month,
Friday of the month.
What time?
6 p.m. It's always 6 p.m. That's so people get time to get home from work. 7 is too late for me. I'm not ready to go to bed. I'm a senior citizen.
It's funny. He's a senior citizen and you're not.
That's right, he is and I'm not. I might get in bed by 11.
so until we find a treasurer and get anything back from the bank, you know,
I'm basically put my hands in.
No, but we can open a new account and have the money
I don't know how they would
directed
be
into
able to
it.
transfer the funds without the other one being.
that's what I was gonna
It
help.
can, I think it can be done.
Because it has to go
Gil,
through.
what did the state say
About which?
about how to get
We
that?
gotta be able to get our funds, because that's.
They
that's
said
the-
to open a new account.
Yeah, they said they don't even want us touching that account from day one.
Okay, well, our next meeting, the, state auditor.
I know,
wants to
they're
be
coming back.
present
Yes.
For our second meeting.
But
So I just want everybody to know that
Oh.
they have to be here, that's a mandatory, it's probably gonna be during the day. Cause they don't do evenings.
they do evenings. They do whenever we set the meeting for.
Okay, cause I was told they'd like to do it in the morning.
Whenever we set the meeting for.
Okay, that is awesome. I was told.
I think it's different when they're coming in
I
here,
have
going
her-
through all
I
this
have her
paperwork.
number.
It's different.
She
I'd
did
like
Yeah.
to be
give
here
me
in the
her
morning
card.
too.
Yeah, so do I, and I have her email address and all that good stuff.
I got it right here on my folder.
I got him.
Your next question is you're gonna close all of the accounts and start a new one. Who do you plan on putting on the accounts?
Well, I'm number one.
I think
What?
we-
But
Are
you
you
need to
the-
have two
Two
signers.
signers.
You're gonna-
You say-
Are you gonna do it like it
I
was
prefer
before,
to
where you
do-
had a mayor and the secretary on there? You're gonna
I
do a
prefer to
secretary and
do,
a treasurer?
The state doesn't require we have both.
I think we
Yeah,
ought to have both.
We need to have 2 signatures on it.
The state requires you have
That way
2.
you
In the
cover
rules,
two,
it
most
says
you're
two.
covering
Yeah.
two people's butt.
Besides that, our old ordinances required that we had 2.
The
If
state
we could ever
requires you
find
have
one.
two
Well, yes,
signatures.
it's always been 2, I know that.
Granger only has 40, well,
But-
actually like 30-some people in it,
Wait.
and we have to have 2 signers on them checks.
Right,
The
Yeah.
mayor has to
and
know
not,
what's
and not a
going
nickel
on.
can be spent without the.
Well,
That's right.
without
That's
the
why-
county
That's why you have
approving it.
these meetings,
Right, but I mean.
because you get a treasury
So
report.
the mayor is
report.
responsible for all the funds.
No, they're not. The board is responsible for all the
The board is
funds,
responsible for the money that's spent.
not the
But
mayor.
But then my
Because-
other question is, do we keep the trash money separate? Is there 2 different accounts for
No.
Yes.
that?
No, it
No,
goes
it's
directly
general
into the
fund.
general fund.
Does it?
But there is 2 different accounts. There's
Why?
a general fund
We
and
have.
then there's.
we
The
have
road
the-
fund.
We
The
had a
road
road
fund,
fund,
yeah.
yes.
we have
Right.
Of
street-
course, there's probably no
Street
money in
tax.
it, but
I
We
have
have 2
no idea.
accounts, one is one and the other one's
I
general.
think we,
I
I
don't
bring
know
up,
what the other fund's supposed to be for.
there,
I thought it was supposed to be used for our roads,
It is.
it
But-
is, and it's supposed to be on the ground.
and I agree.
Well, the
I
state
got
says
several
it's supposed to
potholes
be
in
on
front
the
of my
ground.
house, cause people in houses, they just fly through there and they.
well, is that, okay, I'm gonna bring that up because you know, you brought it up, okay? Grandma Street,
I know,
it
I
is,
drive her up.
It's
Your
money.
road's worse than my road.
in my street right now,
I haven't been doing anything yet because I've been trying to get legal with this.
Because Teresa wasn't going to let us do the gravel through somebody else. She wanted,
She
I
wanted
don't know
to
if you
go
guys
to
were
the
at that
site.
meeting when she wanted
She
that one
wanted
guy to
Tony
do it
White's
that has
guy.
cancer.
He's
Well,
dead.
He died.
He
Well-
died.
Yeah.
Now, we
He was
we
in the
were all,
nursing home when she was saying he was
yeah, I
gonna
know, we
haul
were
it.
all sitting around waiting for that gravel and it never showed up. And now, I was after and after and after and nothing.
well, and that's, I've talked to the county because my street is
I wanted to ask, you guys about that because you did mention that, who was it that, was it,
the county will haul it for free.
somebody said at the cost, that they would spread it.
Oh, yeah, they'll haul it.
Yeah.
They'll
At the
haul
cost
it
of the
and
rock.
Spread it and maintain the streets for
And
us.
what was the cost? Does anybody know?
We pay for the rock, that's
It's
all we
whatever
pay
the
for.
cost of the
Does
rock
anybody
is
know?
today. The cost of rock changes every day.
Okay. Now, question I have is, how do we balance that with the 2 accounts?
That,
What do you
Is
mean?
that
That
coming
comes out of the
direct-
road account.
It just comes out of the road account.
Okay, cause there's 2 different accounts and I don't know what that other account
Yeah, one
is
was for paying like, Ameren.
I know the general,
The general
the
fund
general
is like
fund's been
Ameren,
paying all
the
the
trash.
bills.
Yes.
That's what
And
it's
the
for.
other
And the other one's for road.
We're losing money on those dumpsters, cause we're not getting to.
Nobody's paying.
Well, nobody's
I'm
paying
paying
because,
people.
No,
like,
no, people are paying.
A lot of people,
It's just that they ain't been recorded.
yeah, a
Well,
lot
yeah,
of
that
people are
too.
worried
Well,
about,
We
They
had
did-
one receipt
Well,
for last
I know,
year.
I have
Or
3
this year.
checks that I've
Mhm.
personally handed to Teresa that never went through the
we have
bank.
too. We
I
got,
got a receipt
we
for
got
it.
receipts.
I got a receipt
but
for
our
them.
checks were
They never
cashed.
went through the bank.
Yeah, well,
I've
checks
got-
are
I have
easy
one
to
too.
track, cause the check is basically a receipt in its own.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
but it was never
But
cashed.
but it was
cash.
never cashed.
The cash is where the problem is, because somebody just, it takes it and goes to the bank.
well, and that's
And
something,
I've been writing receipts and she saw the receipts I had on this desk, cause I was collecting and putting it in the bank.
That's where,
And then, you know what happened to those receipts? Probably in the garbage.
yeah,
And, well, I've
your
got
clerk
$60
comes
ones
in.
Never went through
It
the
is,
bank.
yeah, you're
And-
supposed to save
Huh?
all
I
of
have a
them.
$60
Everything,
check.
Well,
and
but-
document everything.
See, that's
yeah,
what the
you have a
problem
form where you,
Oh, it's been a
You,
while.
And-
you
Probably
track
a
it on a
year or so.
form and all
And-
that.
the Dropbox is a great idea, but if you're gonna drop your money in the envelope,
I thought I cashed.
We need to put-
you need to have a stamped envelope with your address on it.
So, like,
So
it has
I
to-
can mail
yes.
you a receipt.
Yes.
It's an
Somebody
older one.
be-
Yeah.
or somebody go-
So we know whose money it is.
They go to
Yes.
grandma's and
'Cause-
pay grandma's.
well, that's why.
There's no way of
Yes,
knowing.
Like, we can't go out and say,
People,
uh,
somebody be in this
Billy-
office every day.
Like 1 or 2 hours a
Because
day.
actually, when
Yeah.
Puff was
Or
here,
even
I
if it
had
was
my own-
30 minutes
I had
twice a
mine
week.
packed.
Hold on.
I mean, that would be
I-
plenty.
got
Yes,
an
I could
answer
probably
for
do
that.
30 minutes, 2
Hang
different
on,
days.
hold up,
I have an
hold
answer
up.
for that, what you're discussing.
Why, if grandma's okay with it, why can't we elect grandma to take the trash money? And then you can pick it up from grandma, and grandma can write out a receipt, and
We
if,
don't keep cash in this building at any.
well, that's why I said, we can drop it to grandma, she has,
If it's gonna be cash, now if you're gonna mail it the way I have been,
Right.
Well, another reason I'm saying grandma's got a safe in her house where it can be locked up,
I gotta put a lock file
and
now.
she can write out a receipt, and we can keep track of it. It can be in a lockbox, and then you can pick up the money at the end of the week or whatever, and deposit it into the bank that way.
There's a lot of people that I've talked to in town, with all the money supposed to come up missing, while she was in charge, they didn't wanna pay trash. And they said,
I understand that.
and they said, once everything was taken care of, and we got,
If you get a receipt, it should be law.
you know,
Alright?
Should be
I
written
mean,
down on it.
we used to have a notebook with just, names.
Yeah, I felt them.
well, yeah, she couldn't even find our name half the time.
I know.
I had it the other
When I
day.
had it before, I had a notebook with.
That
with
wasn't a
names across-
notebook, that's for trash.
I had it the other day.
But I know one person said he put it in the Dropbox,
Yeah, I put it in the
and he said it was
Dropbox.
Need to
two
go back
months.
to.
And he
Yeah,
found out,
from August to, November.
and he's like,
I found a whole bunch of checks that were never even picked out of that box.
You know,
Because when I did a code for Teresa, I put all those, everything in the bank that day.
Everything in this file cabinet is from 2025.
Now, the problem I'm having with the cash is,
Everything else is in a.
they're not
tape
telling me
bit.
what they're
It should
paying
be
for.
organized in here, cause I organized it. all
Well,
of it.
we need to go back
It just
to,
says $10 trash. I mean, I don't know if that's April, May, June, July, or August.
well,
you
that's
know.
why I say, for a second, we need to go back
Because
to.
some people are putting cash in the box, but they're just putting their name on it, and so I just write a paper receipt with the name and whatever month I'm here, I'm writing it down.
We need to go back to real quick on the two names that we need on the bank account real
That
quick.
is automatic.
But who are we gonna elect to put on the bank account?
Well, it's always been the city clerk and the mayor.
Yeah.
That's, it's
Be
big.
her and him.
I mean, if we have a trustee, we can do
That's
it.
fine with me if that's alright with you.
It's
I
fine
mean-
with me as long as
And
everything
I
that
know
goes
when
in
I
it's
was clerk
recorded.
before,
Yeah.
see, that's
Yeah.
right.
The breakdown
The
needs
club
to be
I was
recorded.
in,
Yeah.
There is
treasurer.
a monster amount of paperwork that's involved.
But
We
that-
were,
Oh,
you were
yeah.
putting checks in there, and I didn't know what they
you're
were
telling me,
for,
and I used to not
else.
only collect the
I
trash,
was
but I
like-
did the taxes.
I was
not-
asking these
the county
people, and
does
they're like, well, you
taxes.
need
I
this
did the
one, that
taxes
one,
with
this
the
Well,
typewriter.
see, if we
And I
do
was
I know
doing
they're
another
supposed to be
full-time
quarterly
job and had a house
reports.
full of kids.
But I don't know how, I've never seen a form for it.
well, and if
That
we,
filing cabinet, anybody walks in here and looks at that? I mean, you don't know what's what.
We
Yeah,
were
we're supposed
trying
to-
to find the election
we're
papers
supposed to
and
send a
stuff
report
for, that
every
we
time
needed to
we
get
have a
everybody
meeting, right?
else
So-
And
in.
we're supposed to
And it
take
was
the
not in that
fire
file
department.
cabinet, and every
Well,
time we went up to
when
the
Cindy
courthouse, they're
Bass
like, we don't know what
was
you're
the
talking about.
secretary, she took
Because we weren't
a
actually,
10%
we weren't
out
the
of
mayor, so
both
we didn't know.
accounts and overpaid them
Mhm.
3 months in a row.
and we never got that money
Why
back.
are you supposed to pay the fire department? The county should be paying them.
No.
The city pays, I think, 6% or 10%.
The taxes come to the city and then the city pays the fire department.
They
General
are,
fund
they're still
only.
doing that, cause I know I had to give them to the
It
fire
comes out
department
of
when
the
I
general
collected the
fund
taxes, but I
only.
figured
Well,
that
Grandma,
they-
what do you think about you receiving the trash money
I will
and,
do that, if Frank's not home, they can bring it to me and I'll
And we
take the
can
rest
just
of
put-
it.
Each one of these board members that we signed today are responsible for their award, so if somebody wants to pay you trash, make sure you have a receipt book.
I got a bank, I've got a couple of them since I was treasurer for my group I was in.
I mean, I would
Bring that
rather the
down,
money come
keep
through
the
the
money
city,
in.
that way we have control over who's getting what. If somebody comes in with your $20 bill, you know.
Still write it down, whatever it's for, hey, what's this for? This part of trash or whatever.
Right, it's just to keep everybody honest, that's what I want.
okay, my next question is, do we have the keys to the truck and the tractor?
I have,
you had to plow.
I only have one set though, there's more out there.
Do
That's
we
another
know
thing I
who's
was
got
like,
the keys?
Yes,
should we change the padlocks like on the
I think-
building and everything else?
I'm thinking about doing something differently.
Then speak
Change all
up
the
and,
locks.
I wanna get all the keys, cause I don't even have keys to the new church. I only have
We don't need
city
that
hall.
church.
okay, now that we got
No,
a
we
board, I vote that we change the locks on everything. And give her till the end of the week, give you keys, if not, we send the sheriff.
I don't,
Keys
we
and
do
books.
have a thing here with the titles.
There's a file,
We finally found
with the
those.
titles in it.
It took a long time to track them out. They were not in the right place. They were in a folder that said, what was it, ballots?
Because if she ain't willingly.
That was why, Ginger passed when she was secretary, she couldn't find a title for the city because it was logged in the wrong place. It was just thrown in a folder that said ballots.
Well, if she ain't gonna willingly give you the keys, how do you plan on getting them?
I'll get the keys.
Well, the sheriff will get them.
Well, sheriff will get them, sheriff will get the keys,
He's
and
brought
needs to
down
get the
several
books
with
from
The
her.
only thing that we got, she got is the store, we can always change the lock if we have.
Do you have any books on the city
Well, you just said
ordinance?
she had keys to the
No,
truck and the tractor
those
too.
are ordinance disappeared.
Yeah, one key.
No, like, can we
That's
put,
all.
like,
But I don't have church keys yet.
table it for like next month?
Well,
We
yeah.
come up with different ordinances we want for the town?
Yeah, we gotta do all that.
Bill, the original city ordinance is
Let's do
disappeared
baby stuff,
back
let's
to
get
this summer.
everybody sworn in, we get, what we want, there, I want things to, for the city to
Well, my
thrive.
biggest deal is,
I know rock is one of our biggest concerns.
I don't like messing with the community or making anybody mad, and I'm not gonna say no names, but I had one person in this town that was defecating in buckets,
Oh, nice,
and the bucket was out by their backyard,
by your fence.
and all their toilet paper was blowing out of that, blowing into my yard and Charlie's yard.
Oh, that's where they have no, it runs in on the curb,
Mhm.
that's pretty nasty.
I think he filed a complaint on it too.
Yeah, I filed a complaint, Charlie filed a complaint, I was nice, I went
Did
to
they
the
file
family,
an official
I went to the,
complaint?
I went to the family member,
Was it with the
The
city
county
or
sheriff.
or the sheriff?
sheriff,
That would've been nice to have it here.
because, I got ahold of one of the family members, they called, we don't know nothing about it, I was like.
Well, that's what I was getting
I
to.
was like, I moved
with
2
the,
days ago, that
but I
bucket
said
wasn't there,
Each
it caught
board
me in
has
rain, I
their
went out there and mowed
representative.
again, and I said, there's toilet paper everywhere.
Well, now you're a representative, now you have something to say.
And I was like, I wasn't.
Well, and
I
that,
would've been
I did
mad.
not wanna say nothing, but I didn't
You
wanna.
Yeah,
handled it a
that's
lot
right.
better than I did.
Yeah,
We're
that
not a lot of
really is.
ditches that need to be dug up,
Probably not.
Drive by
so they
button.
drain better.
Well,
Yeah.
don't take mine out,
Drive
cause
up
there's
that
elephant
street
got in
and
it all the way down to the
I have a
alley.
vehicle, I don't drive
So it
nowhere.
does
I don't
drain,
go,
even
that's
though you
what
can't
anybody.
see it.
firehouse,
Yeah,
Okay.
you know,
I
the
remember that.
field drainage pipe
go down to the
from my
very last
septic
street over
tank
the
down
hill,
to the alley where,
go towards
I don't own.
Charlie,
Is
or,
that-
No, I'm
Right.
talking about.
I have a
like the
suggestion.
primary road, where-
This is
Yeah.
from,
Where
what
the
we
rock
did
is
in
walking.
mine is a
Grainger.
mail
Where the
route.
rock
We had
washes
one
over the
person that
road
could come in and do
comes out.
community service.
And there's one spot
One,
down
and
there.
we
I
could
still
sign
wish
off on
this
it.
road that's not
And
closed.
what we had them do was
Because it
anywhere
does,
between
yeah.
mowing and our sliding down in Granger was shit. Like, kids were getting hurt on it. This one out here needs just taken out.
Well, that's
But-
new business.
well,
He-
yeah, that's all new business, that's something we thought about bringing, that we've had complaints on.
Which is where we're pretty close to.
But we had them come in
Because I
and we
don't
had
have
the
reports
slide
from the
sanded
clerk.
down, we had the slide
I don't have those.
finished and everything. And
Well,
we got signed off on community
we
service.
can
So if we
also-
could
There
have
is
somebody
old
like
business,
that.
and that's what
There's
we're
a lot of
talking
people
about right
wanting
now,
to do
which is the
community
rock.
service.
Yes, and,
That was old
by
business.
law, we can at least have one that we can sign off.
The, the housing uses community service all the time. Every time we needed some branches cut or something, or.
Well, I'm willing to work my ass off, but I shouldn't have to. You know, if we got
No.
boards,
If everybody does their job and does their job properly.
and
we
if
should
everybody
not-
works in
No.
unison, the city will thrive.
We should not have no problem.
I mean, that's just,
well, as far as rock goes,
common sense is, you know, if everybody's working in unison,
We
people
can't-
shouldn't be coming in here raising hell and having riots.
Right now, we can't do nothing about rock until we
And
get. the
clarity
plan
is the
figured
most
out.
important
Yep.
thing, you
So
know.
that's gonna have to be tabled till later.
What's that, rock?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
not gonna be able to figure nothing out about rock till
No,
we figure
not
out
until
what's
I have
allowed in
finance.
towns. And so that's gonna have to be tabled.
I have to get with the bank, equity bank.
And we don't need to order a phone. Everybody knows you can buy one of the phones from Walmart.
No, that's.
Yeah,
Yes,
that-
you can.
That's, that is what I was going, that was some things I want to get done.
we can go to Walmart, we can go to Dollar General, you can go anywhere and get a
I
damn
get
phone.
bombarded with phone calls all
But
day.
Actually, you
from
can't get a regular
solicitors.
landline, so you're gonna have to either turn it on through US Cellular
Yes,
or
turn it-
whatever.
You can turn whatever, it's,
Yeah.
it's through US Cellular.
Century
Here, it's
Link
through
is
US
right
Cellular.
here.
$26 a month.
Century Link is right there. I mean, they can run a cable to this building.
No,
No,
Century Link is no
Is
more.
no more.
Is there not?
No.
What is
No.
this box?
But they
just-
still have a box, but,
They still
It's
maintain
not
that,
operative?
yeah,
but
it's not operative.
operative.
Not here.
No,
Well,
but my cellular house
I
phone costs
believe-
$26 a month.
I believe the city of Gorin, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure the city of Gorin has, a credit with Mark Twain since they bought the tower. They gave the city of Gorin, I don't know what it is.
Well, and they should be paying Gorin monthly or yearly for that
Wait.
tower
What-
to stand on city
See,
property.
from what I understood,
Which
we were
was
supposed
for
to get
internet.
a monthly
It was supposed to
stipend.
use for
And we're
internet.
not.
Well,
For-
from what I understood, it was gonna go in its own account, because I was coming to those meetings.
What's that, Mark Twain?
Yeah,
I don't know anything about it. I know we were supposed to get something from, I don't know if we did. I do
Well,
not
I'm sure
know.
you did.
I'm
Because
sure we did too.
I'm
Now, whether or not
in
it's
the
still
dark
there,
about
I
a lot
haven't
of
seen
stuff.
any receipts or anything with
Well,
Mark Twain in the
okay.
file cabinets.
Beans, we're gonna
So
bring that up.
that's all I know.
Yeah, but I bet it was
I mean,
digital.
I'm a board member and I didn't
Probably.
even know what was going on. for
Okay,
Christ's
beans, we brought that up, I'm gonna bring up the COVID money.
sake. I don't know nothing about
The
it.
city got four different,
I know there was, something about COVID money and I don't know what it is. I
I,
don't know what we got.
We got them.
The bank account does not show what we got.
I've got paperwork that
And it
I,
was not the amount that was posted on the website you had.
no.
Yes,
the-
it was.
It,
Yeah,
it,
it
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 was,
was not deposited into. city
I have
department.
paperwork
No, it
that,
wasn't
I have
Well,
paperwork that I
half of
can
them were
print off.
paper
Come
checks.
from the courthouse.
I
So
don't know. I don't know what it was.
who knows where they went?
I have no clue. There's no file.
That's why there's an audit going on right now.
The
That's
audit
why-
already happened.
Well, no, it
No.
started.
It's not over.
Yeah.
It's just
Not over.
started.
It's not gonna be over next month when they come in.
No, it's not gonna be open over for a while.
A resolution of the,
Account,
city,
you know,
and, that is where we are. I'm stuck on that because I can't get corporation.
I have paperwork,
I have to have the bank statement from them that tells me what the city has now
I have
and what
paperwork,
is outstanding.
I have paperwork at
Well,
home.
Unfortunately,
from the
Frank,
state.
probably what we're just gonna have to do is
I'm
close the
going to
account,
open my own
open a
bank.
new one, and call the utility
but-
companies and call everybody you get income from
Well, I
and
get,
transfer everything
I
over.
get the trash directly to my email.
So,
from my understanding, we're supposed to be able to take the paperwork that we all got voted in to the bank, and we're allowed to change everything.
Yes.
Yes,
Was for the
that's-
cemetery.
Cindy won't do it though, at Equity.
Well,
oh, she'll close the account as long
Right.
as you have minutes
She
from the
won't
meeting.
close it for me.
She will once you're sworn in
You're
as
sworn
mayor.
As long as you're sworn in as mayor, she has
See,
to.
you were
Because
never-
I asked her today when I was at the courthouse, cause I was fed a bunch of BS saying that she had to go to the courthouse and sign off on the city, which was a fucking lie.
She had to go to the courthouse and sign off on the city.
Teresa did. That's what they're talking
Oh.
about.
And then, today, her excuse for not going to the bank is, oh, my sugar's too high, I'm sick, but yet you can go down to Rutledge and eat lunch. And I've been trying to coordinate with her to get this city turned over like a month ago.
Yep.
Nonstop, and she will not be available.
well, I expect the sheriff will make her available when she may, any
Well,
minute,
don't
and
make her
also give her a
available
new
because that's the
room.
end of
And,
course.
She doesn't answer her phone for anybody. She
Which-
doesn't.
Actually,
I don't
since
wanna
everyone is
cause
sworn
too much
in,
heat with
you could
her
call
because,
Jason
you know,
now
she's a
and show him
friend,
the
and I
minutes and
wanna
he'd go up and get
contact.
everything from her
But
because they don't have a
She
choice.
needs to close, she needs to reconcile this city, so we have control
Well, she
of the
used
lever.
to-
Okay, just like
Wait,
Teal
wait.
just said, we're all sworn in, grandma's got the paperwork.
I gotta talk to Sydney at the bank, because I've been told different. Unless that federal ID comes through here,
Well,
we
what I'm,
cannot touch
Frank,
those
what I'm
cards.
saying, grandma has the paperwork where everybody's been sworn in. We have a new board now.
But we can't open a new account
You
without
could
the
request
a
federal
new
ID.
from the
That's not what I'm saying. You've tried for a month now. Grandma's got the paperwork that we're all sworn in. We have a new board. We can call Jason today and
We
say,
still have to have the state ID and the federal ID
You
in
can request
hand.
that through the federal and Missouri.
I did.
You-
We got the state, we don't have the federal.
You can't until you have the minutes, they'll need the minutes too.
Yes, copy of the minutes, have to
But-
go to the,
You
But-
can, now that you guys are sworn in, you can request
how long
that.
are you gonna keep trying to get everything from her if she keeps denying you?
well,
Okay,
it's only gonna go on for so long, and then I'm gonna get pissed off, and then I'm gonna go to the courthouse and file a junction.
okay, I make the motion that we request the federal ID number through the state of Missouri.
I second that.
The problem with that is, I'll tell you, for some reason, if you don't give them the correct answers by entity, they will tear you down. Because I
Well,
tried it.
I'll be right back.
The way I see it,
What's
Teal's,
the vote on that?
We
It'll
have
be
to-
through
When
IRS.
we
not
open
Missouri.
a
Yeah.
new account.
You're gonna
we
have to vote on what
consider
Grandma just gave a
ourselves an
motion for.
entity, and we have to verify that when we do our federal
Let-
ID.
let's vote on what Grandma just brought the notion up. I vote yes.
What is it? Who's gonna do it?
That I make the motion that we apply for the state of Missouri to get us that federal ID number.
You have to go through IRS to get the federal one.
Okay, then
Yes.
whoever you gotta go through.
And they're gonna give you the same thing they gave me. If you
Not
don't have
of the
the
board.
correct entity and title,
Well, when they
They're gonna
consider
deny
that she was
your
never
request.
sworn in
Yep.
and that she's probably gonna get charged with fraud, I think at some point they're gonna give it to us. Or theft of public funds.
well, she was sworn in because she's on the county records.
That just means she won the election. It doesn't mean she was sworn in.
Oh.
She was never sworn in.
She was never sworn in,
Oh,
Frank.
I thought she was.
No.
That's nice. And I'm
Was
gonna
there a
run this
notary or a
one.
county clerk at the meeting?
We were never sworn in either.
We never had
Or a
one.
judge?
I've always signed that, something similar to this,
And was it notarized?
yes.
Who notarized it?
The secretary that was on, Ginger did it multiple
She
times.
wasn't a
Ginger's not a notary.
No, but she went and had it notarized and turned into the county.
It
You have to sign it in front of a notary.
Oh, well, no, I didn't do it in front of a notary, I did
So
it
you
here.
weren't sworn in.
Then it wasn't legal.
Yeah.
I think from now
Go
on
figure.
that we need to do everything by the book
By
and
the
do
book.
it legal.
Well, yeah. Teresa sat right there and told me she didn't have to go by the laws of the state of Missouri.
She thinks that.
She also said that
She
this
thinks
wasn't a
she's right.
first-class city. It is, and there's some
No,
people
you're
who
right,
work
it is
very
important.
hard.
I read.
And you
we
still need to vote.
Never lose that
He's
title.
gonna say,
There's some people that work very hard to get that title.
That's right, and we
I
never lost that
remember.
title.
Then we need to vote on what Grandma
Is asking.
is asking.
What's this one, promise me?
So I bring the notion to vote on Grandma's request. I vote yay.
Put it in full word.
I don't remember the full word. and I'm too
I-
damn-
Requesting
Yes.
the TIN number.
The key,
Blah, blah, blah.
federal
Federal
EIN.
Yeah,
You gotta put it in a motion, exactly.
I put it on a notion that we vote for we get our federal IN numbers
From the
Certificate.
IRS.
from the IRS
We need
or
the certificate.
certificates, whatever.
Can you do that?
Federal and state,
I vote.
I,
Yes.
and we have to have them on file. Not in the back of the file where it's located as,
Or in somebody's
Peanuts.
truck.
Well, the paperwork from our meeting should not leave this office.
The only way it legally can is if someone is
not
a custodian.
one
of
single
records.
piece of documentation from the
The
city is
minutes
supposed
are
to leave.
supposed,
Yes,
That
none of it's
includes the
supposed to leave.
checkbook.
the minutes are supposed to be kept at the, a copy of them at the courthouse. though.
Right,
Mhm.
I was just gonna say that also. Everything is supposed to be recorded,
And as far
Everything.
as,
is supposed to be recorded.
okay, the other question, Frank, is do we have insurance on the tractor and the snowplow?
Yes. Uh,
They have a big old file, stack
Yeah.
of it. It's been renewed just recently,
So
about,
who's on the insurance?
Teresa.
I think just Teresa. I don't know.
so we'll have to change all that
That
too.
can't-
That has to be
Yeah,
changed
yeah,
due
it's gotta be
to, with the, just the insurance company. I know you can't get on it because you got a broke back.
No, I don't.
Well, why you telling me everybody you got a broken back?
Bones heal, man.
I'm
Bones
healed.
heal.
Well, I know
I
that.
probably won't be able to get on it because I got 3 ruptured discs in my lower back
Yeah.
and 2 in my neck.
Well,
No,
the only people that really get on is somebody that's not with
Not as a
grass.
truck driver, for God's sakes.
I know. But, I mean, he was bragging that his back was broke, he couldn't do anything. That was a while ago, I'm not
It's when
picking
you
on you,
flip the
Donnie.
3-wheeler or something, 4-wheeler or something.
I'm not picking on you, Donnie.
that was like
I was just being funny.
several.
I was told that
years
you had
ago.
a broken back and you were allowed to use the equipment.
He was on that Brokeback Mountain show.
I don't know. Now, let's see, but that's,
Oh, shit. Anyway, I agree, let's put that in motion. Dorothy wants to obtain the federal and state IDs for the city of South Gorin, title, city of South Gorin, entity, city of South Gorin.
yep, it always has been.
And we are a class 4 city, we are not a fucking village.
Nope,
Never
we
have,
are a
we have
city.
not been.
Once
for
you
about
are
50
certified
years.
as a class 4 city, it doesn't matter how many occupants you have in your city, you will still be a class 4 city.
Yep.
And we've held that title for about 50 or 55 years.
Oh,
No, a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
while
it's
I'm
been longer
thinking
than that,
about
but-
it, I just thought about it. Our Purple Heart,
Yes.
I have had it brought to my attention.
I don't know anything about the Purple Heart.
The Purple Heart, that's why I'm bringing it up
I know
now.
it's something to do about the veterans.
The Purple Heart was not certified.
I thought it was.
No,
They had a bunch of forms here on the desk. that
just
you
because the
signed.
forms were filled out and sent back, it was not
That
certified.
was the way we got the sign. That was the only way we got the sign, is because she had to fill all these forms. for it.
Yes, but you are to have the VFW come in and there be a,
Service.
Ceremony.
Ceremony.
and Bill can help us with that,
I
he
thought
is
they
a
did
veteran.
ceremonies over here at the cemetery all the time.
Well, the
But
American
the cemetery is
Legion
not in the city limits, it is, the ceremony is to be held at our city hall.
And we had people here taking pictures of the wall and everything
does. And
else.
that's the American Legion that
Purple-
does the
Purple
cemetery
Heart
anyway,
Society.
and it's
But we
dissolved.
need to check on that because
Oh,
on
yeah.
the website, we are not listed as a Purple Heart
What
city
is the
because
Purple
it,
Heart all about anyway? Did we get money for it?
Somebody in the town was in a war and earned a Purple Heart.
Okay.
Yeah, well, my Frank Cussman was one of them.
And I know, there's several people on this board that
As
were.
long as they lived in the town, registered in the town, and they got wounded in a wartime deal.
Yeah, we have
And they
several
got-
veterans on this wall.
They got the Purple Heart.
They got
so
Silver
think it's
Star,
right.
Purple Hearts, and, I know about that, and we have all the branches over there. I made that myself, by the way.
well, and I think as far as our wall,
But now we have to have Space Force added to it, because now we have Space Force.
I
Did
bring
he
the
just say
notion that
Space
we
Force?
put something outside for people to actually see the wall any point in
Oh,
time.
you suggest we do that.
It would have to be moisture protected and everything
Well,
else.
they used to have just a list of the,
I
of
mean,
our
this
veterans out.
was done, we had all intentions of doing the PVC over to protect the pictures.
What happened to the plexiglass? Yeah.
The plexiglass was taken down because it got dirty and you couldn't see the pictures.
Why didn't they just clean it?
Well, that's.
It was behind because of
The reason why I'm bringing that up is I've been to several cities.
condensation and pictures don't do well.
I have been to several cities that's got a deal outside.
Well, what I would like to do eventually, if I don't even know if I'll be around in 2 years from now. I would like to, when we get that new building, put the city hall where they suggested we put the city hall, because this is nothing but a garage. This ain't really a.
And there's
city hall.
termites bad in the walls.
See, this place is ready to fall in on us.
Oh, yeah.
So move it up.
I wanna get moved over there, but I don't know what the cost is gonna take to maintain that.
A lot, because I've gone to that church.
That church gets pretty darn cold. I've been there with my mother multiple times. I would like to put the upstairs with all the veteran stuff as, you know, for people to come in and view, leave that open for the public. have like, what they have, like the community center up top and the city hall down below.
I think they said the mayor and the clerk. Nope, they just stated it.
Those are side things we can do. But as far as the city, it has to be put in a separate fund for everything we do. I mean,
Well,
everything
is
that comes
there-
through the city hall has to be recorded, documented, everything.
Well, we gotta have money to.
Anything you say outside city hall, if you're an elected official or you're talking to somebody in a city capacity, has to be recorded. So we don't have people start riots.
Or if, okay, if
Yeah.
somebody comes up and talks to you about something that's going on your side of town, pull your phone out, record it. That way you have at least some documentation.
If somebody threatens you, do the same. I know it's hard to put your phone on and say, hold on, can you repeat that, you're threatening me?
But you can't really use your phone to do that, because if you use your phone, if you got any pictures or anything, the state can come in and take your phone and look at everything.
There's a lot of
A lot of
gray
personal
areas.
stuff, yeah.
No, the.
But I'm saying, everything that you have any correspondence with anybody, please
We went
record
to a
it.
class,
Well,
they
you
basically
can
told us
write
we
it
need to
down,
get
bring it
a
to your-
separate
bring it-
phone for
I used
stuff
to just
like
have a
that.
clipboard that I wrote down.
Yeah,
The
record it.
respective wards, bring it to the main meeting, we'll discuss it in the general forum, like it's supposed to be,
That's what I would say.
you know,
Yeah.
and then you shouldn't have people coming to you and screaming at you.
That's why I say we need to,
I mean, I'm
Everybody
willing to
take-
do, I'm out there, I can bust my ass and cut grass, I'm not fucking lazy fat turd. I can get out there and cut grass, I mean, I take care of my places.
do we have to pay taxes on the church up there?
We do. It's not a free bill,
Well, No, you don't pay taxes.
No.
it's not a church anymore.
But it doesn't matter. The city doesn't pay property
The city does
taxes.
not pay
Oh,
property
I don't know.
taxes.
The city
No,
does,
I don't
That's what
know.
I just wanted to find
the city
out.
does not pay property
But I mean, we
taxes.
do pay insurance and everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, but they don't pay property
And I know
taxes.
that place that runs off of propane and I only saw a little tank outside.
Well, I've gone to that church and they used to have
One
church in
little
the
tank.
basement in the wintertime because they couldn't afford to heat the upstairs.
Right. Well, what I'm thinking is upstairs as a community center, you know.
Yeah, during the summertime, you can
Somebody's
rent
gonna
out.
have to be there so it doesn't get vandalized.
Cause what we did, like, I was in the,
I was thinking maybe do like a,
what was it in Memphis?
where somebody is.
I was in the Masonic Lodge.
Oversee the building,
The
not
Masonic Lodge there
destroy.
in Memphis, and what we did, we rented our downstairs out for people, if they had like family reunions, they had a
Right,
kitchen and
lots of
everything there. And when they come to get the key, it was $25.
When you say rent out, I'm not sure on, if the city can rent it, I'm not sure.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they could.
I know we have a lot of
And you
areas.
can put it down as a donation, we need
Right,
a
and I think
donation.
it has to be donation only.
But we need a
can be-
donation.
Yeah, because when we
I don't
had
think we can
community hall
charge.
here, it was
It has to
donation.
be considered a donation.
Yeah, tell them we need a donation of
rent,
like
I think
$25.
Yeah, but you can specify how much donation you need.
Yeah,
or
that's what I was,
they-
Yeah.
that's what I was saying.
You can say it's a donation in the amount of $100.
And rent the upstairs out for,
But I don't think you
Graduation
need to
parties and
demand a
stuff like
donation,
that.
I think you have to suggest it.
No, you can say it's a required donation of $100 to use the
that,
building.
that covers electric
Okay,
bill
well,
they
then
use,
don't-
the water they
Don't
use,
come
and
back on
stuff
the
like
city, does
that.
anything over a certain amount,
That's, we
then we have
didn't
to
used
file
to
a
have a
different
city
tax.
hall, we used the old senior citizens hall and we gave them a donation every month.
Yeah, well, I know, firsthand that
But don't we have a tax
A lot of
free
stuff
thing, so we
was
should be
done.
able to take
shouldn't have
any
been
type of
done.
donation.
and money was being handed out that shouldn't have been handed out.
Absolutely.
And-
Well,
And it wasn't
oh,
voted
okay.
on. You know,
But when are
I
we,
don't think the city sponsor is supposed to be a donation charity.
No, it's
No,
not,
no.
and like I said,
That
Not
was,
supposed to pay for that bell either.
that pissed me off, but I couldn't say anything because
I think they sold
I
that
didn't have a
bell.
vote on it.
It's still in the church.
You know, the church.
I know, but I think they, or
Are we talking
maybe she
about,
said something about they found somebody who wanted to buy it or something like that.
what, the bell?
The bell.
it's still up there.
well, if the city
Well,
paid for it,
did you aldermen vote to sell it?
We haven't had a meeting since August, so you know as much as we know.
Yeah, so
Okay,
then
so-
it's not a legal sale because the city owns it and only
If we
aldermen
have
can.
to put in a deal in the paper for, if the city sells anything, you have to put a deal in the paper to take bids.
Take bids, you don't.
In that,
A silent auction.
yes.
Closed bids.
But a problem that the city's gonna run into is paying for paying for the dumpsters, this building and the church, and
Well,
all the bills that go with it.
if the books were
It's
kept,
gonna
we
be
would
too
actually
much.
know how
Need
much
all
we're
of it.
losing on those dumpsters. And I
Why
know,
would you have to have dumpsters here and the church? Why can't you
No,
just-
I meant, no, all together, all of this together.
Trying to
keep
Yeah.
that building, this
Paying for the
building.
church and down
if
here.
we
Gotcha.
move City Hall up there, this could be just
A
storage.
garage.
Yeah, we wouldn't even have
But
to,
why do we need this much storage?
Well, we own the building.
you're
what
gonna
we're
need to keep
do
the
with it?
tractor here, the truck
Sell
here.
it.
Can't keep it out in front of the church, it just won't weather right.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
No,
is,
but
this
the-
building makes more sense than that one. Because it's also a garage.
Right, well, City Hall should be down there,
Why?
This
cause
is what
that's what
city hall
that
is
building
need.
was donated for.
Yeah, but she shouldn't have accepted the donation when,
Well,
This
if
not was, once you
the
own it,
deed states that that will be the new City Hall.
once you own it, you can do
Yeah.
anything you want to. with
did
it.
the board both vote to accept the donation to be City Hall?
I think we did at that time,
I'll bet it
Well,
did.
okay, that's where we need to start
cause we
fresh.
accepted it to be for City Hall, we were going to originally move the City Hall up there, like it was supposed to be.
Cause this is as much city hall as this city needs.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, it gets
Because-
pretty cold in here in the wintertime.
Not as cold
yeah,
as
not
it
as
is
cold
up
as
there,
it's gonna
but
be
you
up
got
there.
a
I've been to that
problem.
church.
It is, it's gonna be horrible up there.
Yeah, we've been to.
Not to mention, you can't afford to heat that.
Yeah, the
Well,
heat,
the
the
heat's in the
electricity.
basement, right?
The heat's in the whole building and there's no way to shut it off
Oh, well, that sucks.
one way or
Can't
the
close
other.
it off.
No.
In the long run.
Cause I was wanting to bring up in the business here, the city needs a phone.
Yes, the city does
and
need a
fax
phone.
machine. We don't have either.
Where's the old phone and fax machine?
Well,
Well,
I don't know if we necessarily need a fax machine.
No, we don't
Printer
need fax
just-
No,
machine.
we
We
didn't
can
have
just
fax
email
machines,
They
we
everything.
had printer
send
back then.
stuff through fax all the time.
Well,
and
they'll
they've
email
they've
it
been
to you.
asking, why don't we have one?
Yeah. But email or e-fax would probably suffice.
You know,
And an e-fax is.
I don't have all that equipment, do you?
Yeah. I have a computer.
You can vote for it to be
What is it?
created.
Yeah.
Well, then we would have to vote for the person that's doing all that to be paid for the ink
Have you
and
got a
paper.
computer that's set up for e-fax? 'Cause mine really isn't, probably could be, but.
I mean, that can get pretty costly in paper and ink.
Well, I happen to know
We know
that,
that group needs to
wasn't
help
there a
that.
printer and paper donated?
Yes.
Yes, there was a printer and paper donated for when Teresa was out of office. And there was a printer and paper and ink donated for the city for once Teresa was out of office.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
That's cool.
I don't know where that man is, but he usually sits over there in the corner and it was
Doc?
about $600 worth.
He's out on
Doc?
Yeah,
He's probably out on the truck.
yeah.
Both of his trucks were home, I'm surprised he's not here.
Oh, his semi, he's on the
Oh,
semi.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
they.
He might be
they've
home.
been-
Oh.
Might not be feeling good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we got so far, remember this, we got the motion to get this, the,
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
got it
that's
all
already
wrote
done.
Yeah,
down.
it's already been voted
that's
on.
already been voted and passed, right?
Yep.
I
What about a checking account?
Yes, I suggest 2 people get designated to go
Right. It's always been the mayor and the clerk,
go to the bank and try to figure out what the steps they're gonna require.
but, I would like to have
What
a
bank is it?
backup mayor.
Equity.
Where we bank.
Two
Oh,
people on the
If you're going
board are gonna
community
have to do
bank,
that.
We need to make a motion that, and the,
I can
and,
go.
and approve it that we set up an
Alright,
account
then
at
Don,
community.
You might take grandma. Just
I
saying.
would like to
Us
vote,
three, us three go tomorrow.
yeah.
And we have a, the cemetery uses community bank, and they never got some of those checks go through without.
You want me to
asking
pick
some
you guys
questions.
up?
Yeah.
Can she get in my truck?
Make a motion so it can go in the meeting.
Not in your
Yes.
truck.
okay, Dorothy has something that she wants to put in motion.
That we need to pass a a motion that we change all the accounts to community bank.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes, carry.
I dealt with equity bank.
Oh, and as you just said something that,
So far as the church, what do we wanna do with the church if we're not gonna use it?
Sell it.
Sell it.
sell it, but, hang on, I wanna make a motion on that, just because,
Well, you know,
But
it's
can
gonna
we
be hard
actually
to sell it.
sell it?
Sell it auction.
Can you
Why
actually
can't
sell
I
it
do
or
that?
can
Make a
it
motion to
be,
check into.
does it have to be a donation?
No, you can sell it.
Yeah, you can sell
Okay.
property.
Okay,
We sell
just making
property,
sure.
but that
I don't
building
want it-
was
I,
donated in the purpose of never becoming a church again, so that has to be in the
Well, that would
clause.
have to be in the
Oh, that's
clause.
fine.
well, and
Figure
you
somebody
need to
making
put in the
storage.
clause because
Somebody's
of
making it
what
into a
I
house.
believe in.
It was a generous donation from an old senior citizen that we had in the city that turned the building over to the city.
We also need to put in the clause that the building never be tore down.
Tore down
because-
or used as a church.
Because you can go talk to the community of Bering,
I believe that's a historical building.
well, the city of Bering, and I have talked to a lot of people over there that to this day, they believe that their town got hit by the tornado and ripped
Spared
apart
by the church.
because the church was tore down.
Really?
Their
That's
church,
superstitious.
30 days to the day.
That's superstitious, I'm sorry.
Hey, it may be, but
But I agree, I
Huh?
wouldn't wanna
What's that
destroy a
big
church
one?
anyway, because
There's a couple in
that's
Barry.
sacrilegious.
ABC or something
Well,
like that.
I know that you can't make any of that.
Ask him, he's from Knox County,
Yeah,
not me.
Hey, I make,
Field in Chilcott was
I grew up
donated
here.
by some,
I make the motion to check on the deed to the church to see what it actually says.
yeah.
Okay, I don't know where to look.
I second
The
it.
abstract
Yeah.
I'll get a copy of the
She
deed
just
tomorrow,
said-
okay?
Yeah.
The abstract office.
Yeah.
At
I
the
know we have
courthouse,
the titles here.
I second it.
it would be at the courthouse.
But I make the
Oh,
motion to
okay.
check on the deed.
They all raised their hand.
Aye.
No, bid titles are not in here. I went through this.
No, but
Okay,
the courthouse,
where is it?
if the deed was registered,
The
you
truck
would get it.
title
Do we
is,
have a safety deposit box with the title? Cause there was a title.
I don't have the title for that.
It don't matter, if
No,
it,
how
if
we
it was
obtain the
registered,
title of a building that we
We have
can't.
the title to the truck.
I have
if
to
it was
learn how to
registered
remember.
at the courthouse, it's there.
Okay, well, why don't we have a title?
Actually, I'm gonna check.
I don't know, we have a title. I was told, did we have a safety
I thought
deposit
you
box?
had
If she never registered the deed, we don't even own it, so it's not our problem.
Oh, no.
Well, there's that
I got a
too.
question here, and they're gonna have to put it in their motion, I guess. I do not know if we have a safety deposit box. Anymore?
Whoever goes to the bank to check on the accounts
Can find
can
out.
find it out, cause that is considered an account.
I believe at one time we did, and that's where titles. and
That's
deeds-
where we need to put all the titles and everything.
All the titles and deeds supposed to be in a safety deposit box.
Before we go any further, after Donnie gets back in here, we need to officially vote to accept the motion and seconded of the checking on what the deed says for the church.
Well, we have to first find out we even have a title.
I didn't want that
Oh,
pen anyhow.
Guess what, you can check that at the courthouse,
Yeah,
provided she registered. And like I said, if
he's
she
supposed to
didn't,
bring that
we
up.
don't own it, it's not our
Mhm.
problem.
I don't know what we got. what we
Okay.
don't
Well, you done
got.
lost him long ago.
I've
Not
got
sure he was
another
here to start
question.
with.
Yeah.
Where did the extra
Anybody
equipment
wants
to
to
the
make a
tractor
motion
go?
if he's lost
What?
his mind.
The extra equipment to the tractor that you set out here at the end of the building, where did
Oh.
it go?
Pause, hold that question. Vote on the checking on the deed of what it says exactly. and
All
checking
for
on it.
voting on, checking on the deed, vote aye.
No, but
Aye.
Aye. All nay,
What we want on?
checking on the deed.
You were not voting, so it's fine.
Oh, no, I just wanted to hear.
Checking on the deed.
Checking on what
I'm
the
the mayor, I
deed is.
know what's
says.
going to be voted on.
You should know what's going on.
I mean, I got,
Well,
This
Herding cats,
is the
herding
only
cats.
title I have.
that's the truck.
That's it.
Where's the
No
John Deere?
tractor either?
John Deere's
I don't
in there
know.
too,
Yeah, I don't know.
'cause it's on the
I
insurance.
have no idea
We're paying for an
why
extra
she keeps
vehicle
voting.
that
Becky,
we
do you
don't
want a
have.
chair? There's,
Yeah,
Couple
You
of-
need to get it all.
okay.
I believe it was the old city
Been
truck.
sitting
I
too long
don't know. I
today.
never seen the old city truck.
Maybe.
Yeah. Both girls stayed home from school.
oh.
What'd you find?
Yeah.
That
Megan
should
had
be
a
the
sore
track.
throat.
One's the track and one's the
And
truck.
Kennedy had a rash and it hurt, so she didn't want to go to school today.
I
That's
don't
what I
have
told her.
that problem with Emily, she's ready to go to school.
Hey, Bill,
Thank you.
They start spring break
this
tomorrow.
is the
Uh-huh.
registration.
They just
of the
needed
truck.
an
You wanna go
extra
check
day,
it, make sure
Mom.
it all matches
An
up.
extra day.
On the other side,
It's locked up, you can't get in. You gotta go around the
I'll
front.
show them how to do it.
Why is the walk-through door locked?
Because she was keeping it unlocked for the flag people,
Mm-hmm.
and she barricaded this off.
I'm not even gonna ask.
So people can't get in here.
This door locks.
Yeah, but that
Why
door's over
wasn't
there
someone here
though,
when the
because
Well,
she
the
has it
people
up
that
there.
are setting flags, they're not gonna
Where they
vandalize
keep the
anything.
flag poles is in
Uh-huh.
the truck bay.
Yeah.
So she barricaded this side.
She was afraid that somebody was putting
no
flags
longer
in
barricaded.
the cemetery, which is all 4-H kids and churches are gonna come in and vandalize her, yeah, right.
No, she was worried about people breaking in here.
None of them.
Nobody
none of them
even
were
stops
breaking
down
the
here
tree.
except truck drivers and people putting stuff in the dumpster.
Oh, paranoia, schizophrenia, I'm not holding on to that bullshit. The door is unlocked, so she thought for security purposes, they should barricade this off so they can't get to the
There is
city.
nothing in here nobody wants.
Well, I know that, but you know how people think that are going senile.
There's nothing
Who
in
doesn't
here.
even know what the hell day of the week it is half the time.
I could tell you a lot of other things too, but I can't
I know.
because,
It's a
Insurance agents can't tell a lot of
defamation of
things.
character, and I shouldn't be saying it either. But I'm frustrated,
I
and
don't
I'm
wanna
trying to
see, I
do,
just wanted to.
oh, I know.
A job.
I hope you
Classify that.
do.
I'm trying to do a job.
What is
Oh,
in there?
was it
Have my phone number.
Oh, I've seen
No,
them there.
no.
The maps are in there too.
Everybody
Yeah, I
needs to
know.
Put their phone
We need a
number
padlock
on
for
a
that
piece
jail
of paper
cell
so
for
it's
Lisa.
available to you.
There should be one out there. I told you there was a jail in here.
Okay.
You didn't believe me.
Yeah, wait,
I told you.
Yeah, just
It used to be in
call
Cloudfirst.
her.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just with the board members.
I told you it used to be in Cloudfirst.
Does
I told him it was
anybody
here.
know the combination
What
to
is
say?
on my paper there that I
What's
gave
that?
you?
The one
this
in
room.
the city safe.
It doesn't have it's not locked, it's
It-
open.
Yeah, she asked if you knew the combination.
No, nobody has a key or a safe for it.
Well, it's a combination lock.
Yeah.
You don't need a key.
Do that.
Oh, yeah, that's
Alright, board members.
There's, hey, Delaney, bring that out here.
Put it on
Here's
here
some papers.
for me, please.
Well,
What did you find?
Board members.
Something for wanted by the FBI.
Wanted by the
why don't we just
FBI.
put on those sheets
Who's
I gave
wanted?
you? It's got the swearing sheets.
Pictures.
Does that make sense?
Pictures, fingers,
Oh,
armed
this one?
bank robbery.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Firearm.
want it in my book, so if
Place
they call
was
me, I
Puerto,
can call them.
place of birth, Puerto Rico.
This is my book.
Things they
Okay.
sent.
All
Yeah,
important.
Oh, no.
handwriting, it's not.
Well,
That's why I do everything on the computer.
print it, just board member.
Oh, 1996 is not helpful. So our paperwork jumps from 1996 to 2020. Sounds legit. It's Gorin.
What's that? What's that? I didn't hear that. What was that about, Gorin?
Paperwork that jumps from 1996 to 2020.
Oh, you love that? And then the year that's in question the most, there's not a single piece of shred of paper. Imagine that.
There you go. Thank you.
No light?
You have everybody's phone numbers?
I don't have everybody's phone numbers now.
Board members, please.
Come on, Becky,
Oh,
write
Becky,
your
you
name and
were up
phone
there.
number.
Rebecca, can you put your name, phone number here for
This
me?
is silly.
It's
I
in
know,
my
no.
book, so I know who I got on the board, so I can start memorizing names. I'm very bad with names.
Oh, you're very bad with names.
Yeah, you can do
Oh,
it.
it's getting
But you
old.
know his name is?
Did you find anything interesting?
It's coming.
think it needs gold.
older.
Yeah.
Probably. Because I think I told them it's probably where they were hiding things from the state. But the food pantry, I wouldn't eat anything out of there. Oh, that's scary. It's gonna take us a hot minute for you to upload, just saying.
Well, yeah, it's probably got to be the fastest books by now.
Here's another question, Frank.
What's that?
What do they pay a month for that? Quarter shitter?
I have no idea.
Cause I know when,
I know the plumbing, in order to get the plumbing in here working, we're gonna dig up from the meter to the building.
That's 3 feet.
That's 3 feet.
It's 3 feet from the water meter to the building.
And it needs to be dug far enough down where it don't freeze, cause the last one
That's just
exploded.
Well, that's another 3 feet down. So we got 3 foot long, 3 foot down.
I'm not digging it, are you?
Well, I would dig that, yeah. It would take about 25 minutes.
but,
I got a hole in my yard. It didn't take long at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Okay,
question is, how do
then-
you winterize it?
Hang on. Won't
You
we-
put it in, and you put in the new pipe, and you put insulation around it.
then why
I've
don't
put
we
in a
make
main
the
before.
motion to get a hold of Overholtzer and have him come look at it?
Well,
You know, and to
the
have
problem
to pick
with
up
getting
that porta
the
potty.
working bathroom,
We don't have to
Okay.
provide it
the
for them.
plumbing here will.
Okay, so you just did 2 different things.
In order
Do
to-
one at a time.
In order to have a warm and toasty shitter, you need heat source to keep that from blowing
what's
apart.
electric usually run here?
I do not have any
'Cause
idea.
we
We
can
have
put-
3 different bills that come in, one's for streetlights, one's for the grandstand.
Is there
one's-
electric back there? We
Um,
can run a baseboard.
I have-
Do we even use that?
There would have to be
But
electric
what?
there for a light.
Ball diamond.
Donnie,
No.
what's your
No.
phone number?
What's the point in having
660?
that
I
if we're
don't
not
know,
gonna use
people
it?
were pissed when they tried to get rid of it, so we're not gonna go there.
342-1495.
But when
I don't even know what happened to the poles.
1295.
What are you
1495.
worried about a warm and toasty porta-john? It's not warm.
Talking about
To use it out there.
No, if we
Winterize it.
install
But if you-
the
If
bathroom.
you put a working toilet in there, you're gonna need to keep it from freezing and breaking.
But if you put a baseboard electric heater in there,
This
and,
building is downright cold.
but that's a little
Yeah, but
bitty
that,
room.
So-
it's not
You
the
can
Or
imagine
turn off the water in the
it's not
winter and
city's
drain it.
responsibility to provide a porta potty for the public.
Well,
Well-
I know that.
And
it was
I
terrible
live-
convenience.
Yeah, but I
It's
live
there
next
for
door. It's not
convenience.
that many.
Our postal
Like maybe
workers
5 people a
appreciate it.
week.
Okay,
But we
the-
don't have to have a porta potty, we just have a bathroom
What-
available.
Who do you think uses it?
Nobody, except the mail delivery and the
No.
postal service.
No.
They quit
The
using it.
tire guy uses it that comes to town, and a couple of people that
The
deliver out
FedEx,
to
I've
Raymer.
seen a FedEx workers go
The
in
the
there.
FedEx guy. Sarah does not use that.
Sarah says she won't.
She
Sarah uses
Well, I don't
mine.
blame her. I
yeah.
don't
Sarah uses
porta potty
grandma's.
for
Sarah
anything.
uses mine. She would not go in
I
that
didn't
thing.
use it when I was doing construction, I waited till lunchtime